In a day full of breaking news with the Giants firing Brian Daboll, it sounds like they are keeping Joe Schoen, and he is going to lead their head coach search. John Mara has released a statement that will make all Giants fans sick to their stomach. If you want the Giants to fire Joe Schoen, if you want the Giants to clean house and get back to competing and trying to win football games, hit that thumbs up icon right now. If the Giants are serious about winning, if the Giants want to commit to being a better franchise, they will fire Joe Schoen and they will start their search for a new GM. But the New York Giants that we know and love are addicted to losing, and they are keeping Joe Schoen, and they will stay a losing franchise. This is Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. This is why you subscribe to the channel. Help us get to our goal of 100,000 subs. This was a statement from the New York Giants on firing Brian Daboll and what they plan to do with Joe Schoen, saying, the New York Giants announced today that head coach Brian Daboll has been relieved of his duties. Assistant head coach, offensive coordinator Mike Kafka will serve as an interim head coach. We spoke this morning about the direction of our franchise on the field, and we have decided at this time it's in our best interest to make a change at the head coaching position, John Mara and Steve Tisch said in a joint statement. The past few seasons have been nothing short of disappointing, and we have not met our expectations for this franchise. We understand the frustration of our fans, and we will work to deliver a significantly improved product. They're lying to your faces. We appreciate Coach Daboll for his contributions to our organization. We wish the Daboll family all the best in the future. They say, we understand the frustration, and we will work to deliver a significantly improved product. How can you say that you will work to deliver a significantly improved product if you are keeping Joe Schoen as the GM? Because you can't improve the product if you don't actually improve the product. Because Joe Schoen makes all the decisions, and that's why you're the worst team in the NFL. John Mara also said this: we feel like Joe has assembled a good young nucleus of talent, and we look forward to its development. Unfortunately, the results over the past 3 years have not been what any of us want. We take full responsibility for those results and look forward to the kind of success our fans expect. These are difficult decisions, and John and I do not take them lightly. But we feel like this is the right thing to do at this time and will all allow us to move forward. We feel like Joe has assembled a good young nucleus of talent. Well, that nucleus of talent has you at 2-8. And last year it had you pick third in the draft. And the year before that you picked sixth in the draft. And then you traded up for Deonte Banks in the back end of round 1. And you picked Evan Neal 7th overall. And you hit a bloop single on Kayvon Thibodeau. What young nucleus of talent has he brought in? Only an idiot does not learn lessons from their mistakes. And the Giants, they continue to make the same mistake over and over and over again. Shout out to Bobby Skinner. Go support him on Twitter. Go support him on his show, the Giants Nation Show, on YouTube, as well as on podcast platforms. Thought he hit the nail on the head with this one. He says, this is the third time that John Mara has fired a head coach without the GM being fired. He fired Tom Coughlin after 2015. He then retained Jerry Reese, but then he fired Jerry Reese and McAdoo just 2 years later in 2017. He then fired Pat Shurmur after 2019 and retained Dave Gettleman. He then fired Gettleman and Judge 2 years later. He then has now fired Brian Daboll in 2025. He is retaining Joe Schoen, and the Giants are walking the same path they did in 2019 and 2015. Only a fool fails to learn from their mistakes. The Giants have made this mistake twice already. They're now trying to do it for a third time. You have nobody to blame but yourself, John Mara. Joe Schoen, you have failed the New York Giants. You have failed Brian Daboll. But most importantly, you have failed Giants fans. I want to go back to the quote. Joe Schoen has built a young nucleus of talent. How do you build a young nucleus of talent? By the NFL draft, right? We feel like Joe has assembled a good young nucleus of talent. I look forward to its development. So let's do an exercise. Let's go through all the draft picks he's made. Green means home run hit. Yellow means you got a single, maybe a double. And red would mean a total miss. So let's go to when he took over, 2022, where you had the 5th and 7th pick. I would say you hit a single with the Kayvon Thibodeau pick. Not a bust, not a home run, a serviceable player, a starter in this league, but not a game changer, not an impact player, probably never going to be a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro player. That's what you're supposed to get at number 5. You completely whiffed on Evan Neal. He's in year 4, and he is a healthy scratch every single week. Wan'Dale Robinson. I think he is a solid player at the receiver position, but I think he's extremely limited due to his size. He can't run routes down the field and make contested catches. He can only operate out of the slot, and I hope the New York Giants do not pay him a lot of money in free agency. You pick Joshua Zudu, number 67 overall. That is as premium of a premium pick as there is. He's not even on the active roster, or he doesn't suit up. Cordell Flott, that's a solid pick. I got to see more than what I've seen this year. If I'm just basing it off this year, it would be a green, but it can't just be a sample size of 5 good games in year 4. He's on the right path, though. I think Daniel Bellinger is a solid pick. I think he could be a starting tight end, too, in this league. I think Dane Belton is as close as it gets to a yellow pick, but he'll be off the team at the end of the year. He'll leave in free agency. The Giants won't pay him. I think Micah McFadden was a home run pick. That's a starting inside linebacker with the 146th selection. When it comes to DJ Davidson, Marcus McKeithen, and Darian Beavers, those are all major busts. So, the 2022 class, you have one green hit. Kayvon is close to a green. Wan'Dale is a solid pick. Cordell Flott trending in the right direction. Bellinger is solid. This is actually kind of close to maybe his best class, his worst class, 2023. You traded up for Deonte Banks. He's the worst player in football. John Michael Schmitz is a single of a hit, but it has a down arrow because he's finally starting to play like a top 22 center. But if you're picking a center, 57th overall, that should be a top 10 guy. So I lean closer to red than yellow here, but that's why I have yellow with the down arrow. And then Jalen Hyatt, Eric Gray, Trey Hawkins, Jordan Riley, Jervarius Owens. All misses. Every single one of them. This is in contention for the worst draft class of all time. Of all time. And then 2024. Malik Neighbors. As green as it gets. A home run. A future All-Pro. Already a Pro Bowler. Green. Tyler Nubin. Miss. Bust. Red. 47th overall pick as a safety. That should be a down one, starting, impact player. He is not that. Andrew Phillips, I have him as a yellow, but it should be yellow with a down arrow. He has some high highs. He's got really low lows. Theo Johnson is a yellow. Tyrone Tracy, I have him as a yellow. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but getting an RB2 in round 5, I think it's a solid pick. And then Darius Musow, that is a miss for me. I think some people will say Tyrone Tracy should be a green. I disagree. A green is someone that has all-pro potential, or if you're factoring in where they are drafted, it is that could be impacted. That's why I have it for Micah McFadden. I think Micah McFadden is a way better linebacker than Tyrone Tracy is a running back at this point. For 2025, I think it's way too soon to do that. Jaxson Dart looks like a green. I would give him a green. I think Abdul Carter is going to be a green. Marcus Poe hasn't played yet. Thomas Fidone hasn't played yet. Corey Black, he's not looking like an impact player. We haven't seen anything from Darius Alexander that would say he's a green. It's just too soon for 2025. So I'm kind of waiting to uncover that young nucleus of talent that he's built. Because it doesn't bring anybody in free agency that grows here with the Giants. Yeah, he traded for Brian Burns. That was a hell of a move. But what about all the other misses? What about trading a third-round pick for Darren Waller? I don't know. I'll bring on my guy Andrew Connell to share his thoughts. Maybe you can kind of add some more context to this. I don't know. I don't understand how Joe Schoen continues to have a job. And not only that, he's now going to lead the head coach search to save the New York Giants.
Yeah, it's tough when you look at those results. Like, they don't lie. You see, and not even in the draft picks, but you see a top-heavy roster that has some exciting players, but not good enough, obviously, to get wins in the NFL. And then you look at some pretty big misses in the middle of that draft where good teams are built. Good teams, everyone, it's easy. Some people still mess it up, but it's easy to see who the can't-miss players are. Joe Schoen has drafted a few can't-miss players, Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter. Those guys were run-the-card-in selections. But in the second round, he's missed on guys like John Michael Schmitz and Tyler Nubin. He's missed on trading up for Jalen Hyatt. He's missed on trading up for Deontay Banks. You drafted Evan Neal with the 7th overall pick. Like, imagine how much better the Giants would be if even half of those picks were good starting caliber players, which is what you should be getting in the first 3 rounds of the draft.
Pick 67 on Josh Azudu.
Yeah, I don't even think he's on the team anymore. So it's just...
And he can't get the kicker right.
You're not going to bat 1,000. Yeah, the kicker, that's a whole nother. We did do a video about it. We could do whole nother video about how he's mishandled the kicker position. He's just made too many mistakes. Hit rate has not been high enough. No one's going to hit on every single draft pick. It's impossible, although it seems like some teams, they do it every single year. But he's had too many misses and misses in big spots as well that nothing suggests that he's going to figure this out. The one thing that I convinced myself when they kept both of these guys last year, Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen, was that, okay, like, maybe if people do a certain job long enough, like, they will figure out how to do it eventually. Like, you do something enough, you realize what works, you realize what doesn't work. Nothing is suggesting that Joe Schoen has figured it out. He hasn't gotten better as he's gone on.
And you're going to learn on the job as a first-time GM, but where are the results on learning on the job?
I don't have confidence that he's going to figure it out, and I don't think he earned the right to keep his job while Brian Daboll was fired.
They both have earned the right to be fired.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do it.
Nope.
Maybe if it falls off a cliff in the next 7 weeks, it does. But even if it does, then Andrew Connell, then you're behind on the GM search, which then is going to make you behind on the head coach search.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen John Mara he is not super convicted in his decisions. He waffled last year on whether or not he should keep these guys, whether or not he should let them go. He decided over it. He thought about it. He ultimately decided to keep them. We saw that with Joe Judge, the last New York Giants head coach to be fired. It was presumed, and I think there was multiple reports saying that he was safe, and then he had a terrible finish to the season, and they decided to scrap their plans and get rid of him. So even though he's come out and publicly supported Joe Schoen, I don't think that this may not be finished. It may not be done. Who knows?
What happens if Jaxson Dart has to miss the next 4 games due to a concussion, next 3 games due to a serious concussion, and the Giants lose out the rest of the year and they finish the year 2-15? You Joe Schoen still job safe?
I don't know. I mean, I think the fans are not happy already, and it's only going to get louder and louder. And John Mara has shown that he cares about that. He values the like you said, the PR of the team. And if the PR of the team is that there's still a dumpster fire and people are flying planes over the stadium where fans aren't showing up to the games,
You know how many Green Bay Packers fans are going to be there this week?
it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
They are the most well-traveled fan base in the world. There's going to be so much green at MetLife, it's going to look like a Jets home game.
Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. There's always that if the coach gets fired, sometimes it gives the team a bump. I don't know. Listen, none of these guys are going to be unhappy that Joe Schoen's still the GM. He's the guy who brought all these guys in for the most part, so it's better for them if he remains in charge. But I don't think the fans are happy. I don't think he's earned the right. We've talked about what you said is that John Mara, the message he's sending if he doesn't fire these guys in the video we did this morning before he actually did fire these guys, that the job you're doing is acceptable by not firing them. So he said, Brian Daboll, you did an unacceptable job. Joe Schoen, you did an acceptable job. And I don't think that's the reality.
If you want the Giants to fire Joe Schoen, if you want the Giants to be a serious organization that is a commitment to winning, they would do it, and you should want it. So hit that thumbs up icon. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Please smarten up. Please, John Mara, and make the right decision.